Okay, time for part two. Part two of the pummeling. The pummeling of Julian. Julian, the one who overthrew Florence. Julian, the one who just so happens to be a dick. Julian, who apparently is getting dick punched right now himself because the entire group has decided, let's just Zerg rush him and jump him.
Currently using his sack as a speed bag.
So we're going to roll for initiative now.
Okay. 69 that time, so at least it's not as high. I'm like sitting here like, why is my luck? Why? Zip. My zip modifier's 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will say that little block is a little confusing.
I believe. Let me see.
About to be a redhead, baby.
Your zip should be +4. Why is stats moved down there?
So 19 total.
I didn't want to disturb you. Yes. I just wanted to say that I wanted to show you that I died in here. You can see how red it is on it.
Okay, so you're at what? 20?
19.
My mom died at
19. Are we good with using axles for the group, or did you guys think you guys could do better?
Nah, Axel's better. I got a 13 all told, so.
Okay. So we're going to do it as group, then Julian. So, group. You guys get a second turn. Julian seems to be getting his eyesight back. You guys will no longer have advantage this round.
Understood.
So who wishes to go first?
I'm going to step up.
I feel like Axe should.
Yeah, I got something to say. By my right as a lord of the court of the moth, sent by Florence, I challenge your right to the throne, and I'm going to overthrow you. And I'm going to use my 2 attacks with claws. Non-lethally. I don't want to actually kill him if I can avoid it, but because I kind of want to give Florence the right to do that. 9, 13 plus 4. Can't math today. 17. And then I have I'm not using Lunar, I'm using Arcane. I want to make that very clear. I know better than to use my light stuff on this guy.
King will use your base raw destruction.
I'm trying to use...
Which is nothing.
Where is Arcane? Arcane Strike, there it is. Add a tribute modifier, destruction magic.
Yes. She'll just be adding 5 onto your claws.
Yep.
Yes. So I'll start a new category called Subdual Damage on him. Because everyone's just been trying to kill him. And then your second hit?
Yeah. Prefer to have him alive. I mentioned that out loud for others. 10, 12, and 6. That's right. Yeah, 16. 16 to hit for the second one.
Most excellent. Who's up next? Who wishes to go next?
I'll
My
go
response.
next.
You'll go next? Okay. Begin firing away. Stella.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were a robot for a second, but we can read
But
you
yeah,
from the
yeah.
other side.
And it's Bracken just back the action of my rifles.
Are you doing lethal or non-lethal?
Uh,
So we can't hear you.
Yeah. So we might have to go to text.
Go fast. I'm going to run away from the computer and pick up my nuggies.
Yeah, they smell funky.
Alright, so I'm gonna try to attack him with the sword again.
Lethal?
Nah,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to stun or incapacitate since that's what Calder is asked for.
check, check, check out.
Hello, Stella.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
But I got a 16.
Okay. So 16 will hit.
I'm gonna make him jealous.
Arcane Strike Subdual, I take it?
Yeah.
New ones? I said that.
And do you want to do another attack or save your 2 action points?
I'm gonna activate my armor,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hold an attack as a reaction.
Okay. Stella.
Doesn't even show like.
Okay.
I forgot to do that.
I'm just going to stand down and hold an action
Okay. So you're just going to hold an action to shoot?
to hit smack me in the head with the butt of my gun.
Okay. So you're going to smack him in the head with the butt of the gun.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to go from marksman to bludgeoning. No longer advantage, normal. That's technically a strength-based attack. In which he is still hit. You boop him good in the head.
Good old snoot boop.
You're gonna boop him again?
Stop resisting.
It's not police brutality if you say stop resisting, right?
Yeah.
Second one will... Come on. Miss. Want to do a third one?
Yes, I'll do a third one.
Okay. Clicky the box again. And that one misses. Okay. So you're trying to do subdual. You know what? Michael's gonna do what he's good at. He's a gator after all. Plus his bonuses. Yes. He latches on to Julian from behind and rolls them to the ground. So he currently has them in a grapple. Let's see if he can make it out of the grapple. After first applying the damage. So his first thing has to be to try to break the grapple. Which he's just barely failing. Okay. Okie dokie. And then he's going to try to cast a spell on Michael. Ooh. So, Michael's going to have disadvantage right now. You see him start to glow as if something has been cast inside him. Michael is now taking some pretty heavy damage. In fact, you could almost say it looks like he's lost about 15% of his health in one go. He's also going to reach out. And the next person who's within touch range is Victor.
Yeah, I was up sub. I went.
Yeah, that'll hit Victor with a crit.
Question. Can I use positive elemental hunger on that?
Yeah, you could.
I would like to om-nom that if I can.
Regular Omnum or...
One of my ladies at work, but she doesn't work with me anymore. They
I don't know the difference.
3 reserve to just nom it and then get points back into your reserve, or 5 reserve to eat it and heal yourself, which you have no damage.
Yeah, definitely the first option there.
Okay.
So 3 reserve to Omnom it.
Okay, so you just get that 3 reserve back. Because you can't
Okay.
go above.
Alright, so what do I mark out?
Being he's hitting you, so how many action points do you... Yeah, because you used up your reaction.
Yep.
Actually, I left a react.
No, Asnoth used his reaction.
To nom the power off of our tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your tank is trying to hold him down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's going to be a crit on you. Is there anything you can or want to do? I know you've got your barrier up.
But that's, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Okay. So, he's gonna try to influence you. So, I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Whomst.
Victor.
Alright, so dirty 20.
Okay. You shrug it off, but you hear him trying to use a command spell on you, commanding you, "Get this foul beast off me, now!"
You do that again, I will kill you.
Roll an intimidation. Oh, Victor's actually got pretty decent charisma. Oh, no. Oh, no.
11. $15.
Yeah, you see fear starting to fill this Fey Lord's eyes. He's having a bad day. Very bad day. It's back to the team's turn. So, Axe, go ahead and start us off.
All right. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. Yeah, whatever. I'll just punch him in the face. Or, claws. That's not a good roll. 7. 12 total.
Yeah, that misses.
Cool. Let's try again.
So, hang on. You have advantage.
Oh!
Because he is grappled.
That would just be an extra 2, so 15.
15 would hit.
Okay. And that would be my... I forgot to run my stats last thing, so hold on, let me remove 4 mana for last turn, and then it's gonna be.
Aren't you using
mana.
Arcane? You shouldn't be using any mana.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought it had
and
mana.
even then, strikes don't use mana anymore.
Shit. All right. Well, That was just the 8 from. Okay, well, we're good. We're good there. So that'd just be damage for my claws and the damage for the arcane. So 10 total.
Yep.
And a second go. I'm glad I have advantage. Ugh. Oh my god, I rolled 1 twice, so I have. That's not gonna hit. That's a total of 10.
Yeah, that's not a hit.
Yeah, that's a total of 10 with advantage.
Ugh.
That was not a good hit.
Okay. Next up.
We'll give you this, Stella. You were supposed to be before me.
Yield before you die.
All right. So you choose to die today.
I mean, he doesn't have much he can do. He is grappled by a large gator person who's got his mouth
Can,
wrapped
can I,
around him.
can I non-lethally shoot this guy?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So that's going to change you to accuracy, weapon, marksman, and a roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Ah, okay. That's a crit. Are you using your magic with it?
Yes.
I'm just gonna reset those stacks back up to 20. He's still ticking. He's looking really rough for wear, but he's ticking.
Do it.
You're
Do I
gonna.
have another shot?
You still have 2 more attacks worth of AP.
I'll shoot him again.
You miss. Even with advantage.
Well, that's never happened before.
Yeah, you rolled a 12. You had a 2, a 2, and a 3. Okay. Want your third shot?
Shoot him. Third shot.
Third time's the charm, right? I swear we're gonna get like a massive crit and knock him out or something, right?
Yeah.
1, 1, and 6. Okay, you missed that one too. Guess it's down to Michael now. Oh no, Draven. Draven, what do you do?
Well, I mean, if you want to get technical, it is down to a Michael. I'm gonna smack him with the sword again.
Okay.
Non-lethal if I can help it.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
So I was using Arcane Strike on him. I just want to knock him out if I can.
He looks like he's barely hanging on to consciousness at this point.
You've always been weak, haven't you? You've always been in the shadows of others, and it's eaten at you. You saw a moment, decided to try to take it. 16. I'm gonna arcane strike and smack him in the head again.
Okay. So that'll hit. Very lovely speech you gave him.
And my armor's still up and good. So I'm gonna hold a reaction.
So you just really ticked him off. Oh no. And he broke free of Pollen's bite. Oh no. That's not good. He's going to turn around and is going to actually touch Michael. And you're going to
Counterspell.
Okay, so you're going to counterspell the first one. That's fine.
I'd like to nom the second, considering I still have a reaction.
It's not positive energy he's about to use.
Damn.
So you counterspell the first one, which is good. The second one is going to fire off. The second one that fires off is going to it's going to give him back some health. Ooh, now just barely keep him up.
What's he using?
He was using a life transfer spell.
Oh.
Victor looks over at Azeroth and Stella. He dies.
That seems like a
Yeah.
mighty useful ability. I might want to. I'm sorry, I have to. Do I have the RP to learn that one?
You do.
So you're shooting death.
Observation check equal to 10 plus ability tier. I have no idea what tier it is.
Mm-hmm.
7 and a 6. That is, oh god, 13 plus my observation, or
Okay.
I assume perception in this case.
Okay.
And is that gonna be perception with magic instead of normal perception?
But you got it.
Okay.
Okay. So you've learned how to trade life essence one way or another.
I like that ability.
Yeah. Noticing that this is not working out so well, he's going to put his hands up. And he needs to cast one last spell. He's going to cast Dispel Magic on himself to get rid of the poison stacks as a legendary. He held his legendary for this. He's going to look at you guys and be like, okay. I understand you guys are here to end me. Can we come to a deal?
No deals. just sit.
He's going to slowly sit right where he is next to Michael and just stare around at you guys. Now, do you want to know how close he is, or do you want to wait until after the encounter?
I kind of want to knock his ass out.
Okay. Make a roll.
And my response is going to be sleep. That is 9, 6.
15
Yeah.
plus your bonus. You knock him out. He had 1 HP left.
Bonk.
He
Down.
literally survived by 1 HP. Because after the poison triggered, if he would have lasted one more turn with the poison stacks on him, he would have been dead. Or he would have been knocked out. And then by the time the poison would have been treated by you guys, he would have been died from the poison.
All right. I am going to... cold iron does not work the same way on lords as it does for lowers, so I'm going to cold iron manacle his hands behind his back.
Okay.
With that as well, I would like to stuff something in his mouth and blindfold him.
We're going full kinky, are we?
Yeah, well, I mean, casters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make sure they have no materials, that they can't say anything, and they can't see anything.
I mean...
And they can't move their hands. No vocal and no schematic, and no material. And suddenly, they're not casters anymore. Unless they have innate abilities they can just use.
Fey Lords would never have those.
And then I am going to sit on him, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So there you are, sitting on him. Some guards seem to have been pushed back through the halls. And you see them look at the wall and look at what you're doing. And they start pounding on the wall of arcane force.
Look over. Surrender! It's the best idea for you. I would like to write in the book. I don't think this Lord of Silverlight's going to be paying much attention to it, but I literally just write, he's incapacitated. Still busy.
After a few minutes, with the people still beating on the arcane wall and trying to get through, you start to notice the hallway get dark out there. And as it continues getting dark, you notice a silverish flame, like a ball, between two horns on this rather interesting goat-like creature moving towards the crowd. His black robes kind of embroidered with silver for stars and moons, and nice silver kind of adornments around the edges. He raises his humanoid hand up towards them and then lets out a strange green gas from his mouth, causing them to start coughing and falling over unconscious.
Just one thing I would like to do before that point, if it's okay.
Yeah.
I would like to release the moth with a message.
Okay.
that Julian is incapacitated, and um, while the realm may not be safe yet, but it will be soon.
Okay.
Magic's still inundated, but we're clear. And I'll release that out of the window before this happens. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure I got that.
Yep. So, what you do see and what you do feel with your spell, Draven, is you feel for a second what feels almost like an icy burning sensation on your concentration on the spell, as the Lord of Silverlight just rubs his hand across the arcane wall downwards, and it just vanishes. And slowly he begins moving in, looking around the room. This probably 12-foot tall entity that looks so thin and gaunt, before he looks down to you guys and goes, "Very good, mortals."
Thought we did a decent job.
Yes, seems Julian is more bark than bite. Though it could be because he's using so much of his strength to maintain that curse. Well, shall I take care of this pesky business so we can get Florence back into power?
Technicality at the moment, aside from you being in the room, I'm technically already have overthrown him, minus the fact that he's got the curse up. But yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we just need to make it to where Florence can come back and...
Yes. I do not know how to do that.
Oh, I can do that.
Aside from killing him, but I prefer to let Florence deal with him.
I might make a deal with Florence for this one. I haven't had...
He did say he wanted him dead.
I haven't had Fey brains in so long.
I'm tempted to make the deal out of character. He did say originally that he figured it was time to get rid of his brother.
I mean, are you going to mention that to the Lord of Silverlight?
Tempting. Whose allegiances do I lie with here? I'll be good. Although the offer is very tempting.
You see him reach down and begin casting something, and it takes a few minutes, but you start to notice outside the light going from the pale moonlight to the sun. Something that hadn't been seen in this land for several hundred years now, peeking through the trees, through the windows, and causing the poor man that you're sitting on to turn into a black moth. A black little mothman. So frail, so weak, until finally even that vanishes and he turns back into his Fey Lord self. Still unconscious, still unable to do anything. Looking over to you guys, the Lord of Silverlight goes, "So, how did you know that I was part of this court?"
I made a very educated guess. Lord of the Silverlight kind of has a ring to it.
Yes. You'd be surprised. That hag you had to face down with. She's also part of our court.
Where do you actually lie in the court system? Because I know the Court of the Moth is not yours.
I'm technically part of the Moth and the Moon.
Oh, surprising. I wasn't expecting that.
Yes, I make deals and whatnot. My brother Brawley is also amongst the Sun Court and the Butterfly Courts.
Out of character by technicality, Asenath is technically the one who's on the throne at the moment. Until he yields. I thought about that and I'm like, hold up, actually.
That's a good point.
I mean, it depends. If you say that you did it in the name of...
Yeah, no, I said sent by.
Yeah.
I didn't say in the name of.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Are you going to try to usurp an entire throne from a Fey
No,
Lord?
I'm not, because that would cause a lot of enemies.
Especially a Fey Lord who
just thought
can
it was
now
funny.
enter his realm. Fey Lord whose alternate form essentially is just a muscle man who could sit here and wrestle you into the mat.
Oh, I'm sure if I was like, no, I'm the Lord, he's going to be like, fuck you, punch in the face. So, no, I have absolutely zero urge to be a shit about it. I just thought it was funny out of character.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys have overthrown Julian, quite fantastically at that. You guys only used a distraction of a couple of units. I was expecting to possibly push you back, but the flashbang really threw things through a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot you had that one, and forgot you had Speak with Animals.
Useful. Speaking of, let me remove my flashbang from my inventory.
Yeah. But now I also need to make some notes on Graja.
Graja is good bean. Graja is friend.
Graja technically should be owed a seat in the court now, which is scary.
Well, I mean, Graja helped. Doesn't really mean there's a seat there.
He's the bestest boy.
Yeah.
Bestest great grand ferret. But yes.
So, I didn't know you were a part of the Moth Court, actually.
Well, I like sitting here and getting into some politics here and there, and Florence and Julian's father was quite entertaining at times.
Yeah.
So,
And then Lunar as in the overarching entirety.
yes, so in a way he kind of made me an honorary member of the court. I helped with a hand in raising both of the boys in magic. Seems only one of them actually carried on with my teachings.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you as more of an official person here.
Yes, I do believe you haven't seen my form.
No, I hadn't. I saw you beat up in a humanoid form.
Well, it is pleasant to see you all in good health. See your acquaintances have changed a little bit, but such is the journey of life. So knowing that you're here, it means that you're probably going to be on the court now as well.
We officially have me as the seat. and then Victor has a official vie for one of the seats as well. And I mean, technicality, I am technically the quote king of the Moth Court until I hand that over to Florence.
You might not want to mention that technicality to Florence or any other.
I thought it was funny. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do anything.
Yes.
He's my friend. I'm going to happily give it to him. He's the only reason I knew that this was an issue.
Yes, and trying to be as neutral as possible, there are some Fae that would possibly try to back a mortal having the claim, as they would then be able to seize it from you. So.
No. Yeah, that's another reason why.
So, you've dealt with this. There's only one further problem from what Balthazar was giving me information on. Apparently you have occult activity going on. They're trying to seize power.
We have occult activity going on, and an incursion, which I believe is done now, as long as we, get the other potential problem out of here.
Yes. So that means we just have to worry about the Earth cult. I'll see what I can do with talking to Brawley about giving you guys some forces to help.
We also have one last thing.
Oh?
Of, where are all the people that were taken?
Knowing Julian and them, they probably have them in a dungeon or a work camp somewhere.
Yeah.
I say we probably look into their paperwork, and that will give us a few hints as to where they all are and what's going on. Is there someone in particular you're looking for?
He looks towards Victor. I'm gonna let Victor talk. You're muted, by the way.
Oh, oops. Yeah, my sister was taken and a mimic sent back in her place.
I will try to come through and find your sister then. And
I don't even know if we picked a name out for her.
I don't think we did either.
Just use the last name.
Okay.
Coburn. Last name of Coburn.
Yep. But yeah. So this went a lot quicker than I originally anticipated for the session. Don't have this far planned. So did we want to put it on pause until next time?
I don't mind having conversations, because, I mean, there's a lot of in-character conversations we could have here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Victor just kind of takes it all in, looking around, and it's just everything kind of hits him. The incursion's over. His family could be almost whole again, depending on what's happened to his sister. We have done so much, guys.
We need to... Victor, do you want to keep the incursion on temporarily so we can help take out the Earth cult here?
Yeah. I mean, we know where everyone is. We kind of know who all's involved in it. So we could share that information with whoever's going to help us take it out on this side. Maybe we do that after we handle the cult.
They are a hive mind, so theoretically being able to say, hey, Your owner's switched. Well, you're now working with us. Get rid of this Earth cult. Might actually be
And there's rock.
decent enough. What do you think?
Yeah.
He looks over
Yeah.
at the Lord of Silverlight.
Could be doable, but that means you have to negotiate with the mother, brood mother.
I mean, the forces are already there, and otherwise we have to manually take out the Earth cult. But regardless, it's much, much easier when we don't have dual forces.
Hmm. And it does give you guys the element of
because I know Willow
surprise.
was around.
So you guys wish to
So
temporarily use these incursion forces for
maybe she.
removing
Depends
the cult?
on if
I
they
think
would willing to.
we need to see what the king says.
I believe you also would have to inquire for help from the Raven Queen as well. Because being this is part of an incursion that's supposed to be legally stopped,
No.
you might need
If that's
to...
the situation, then I would say have them pull out and we'll handle it ourselves.
Well, you might be able to get it freely for getting it cleared, but there might be paperwork and bureaucracy involved.
The less paperwork, the better. I'm not a fan of bureaucracy, and he looks around the room. I'm well aware I am inundated deeply into it at this point.
Mm-hmm. And they probably already know.
He looks over towards the Lord of Silverlight. I am straight cut. I do not like to have anything behind my words. I don't like tricks. Much prefer to just make a deal and stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually my method too.
That and you don't want to mess with people who are at the same or higher strength level. If you do anything and you want to do something, example, stealing, you would steal from someone who definitely deserves it and not a friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
He pokes the back of Julian's head. I'd steal from him.
I don't think he has many friends left in this world.
Yeah, me either. I don't think he has a lot of time left in this world.
He's lucky he has himself.
Yes, and given his crimes, there's a good chance that the Raven Queen might try to eliminate him, in a sense.
Well, if you can, I'm definitely voting on the level of you can eat his brain.
Wawa or any food
You
like
helped
that.
us more than enough. That's a
Smoothie,
minor
that
cost in my
mango and
opinion.
pineapple
You're so
and,
generous with offering
they're
stuff
really
like
good
that.
food.
You're just trying to keep me well fed, aren't you?
I am.
Ben likes it all.
You've been nothing but nice to me. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, you
Those are my favorite.
helped us out.
Heck, you didn't even really know
Long tracks.
the full extent of the situation. I just said, "Hey, I need some help," and you were like, "Heck yeah, I'm in." You're like, "You're going to war against Julian? I'm in."
Well,
Do you need a
yes.
distraction?
Well, yes, my seat has been null and void for a while in the Feywild because of him.
No.
So in a way, he's wronged me and wronged our hag friend and wronged a few others.
I would consider it reinstated.
Yeah.
I would presume so too. I'm pretty sure Florence will honor the old deals and would probably honor the factor that I've helped out.
Yes, in the least.
Victor looks over at Stella. So, what do you think of all of this?
Just
I'm on with pistachios.
this is just a lot. It's a lot of changes ahead.
They can be very. What do you want?
Yeah, there's a lot there.
There's a lot more
And-
trouble to come, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, where there's politics, there's trouble.
We get the three of us just get pointed at trouble anyway, and are told to go fix it.
At this point, we're dropped in on trouble and get it fixed.
I mean, to some degree we are the trouble, but,
Comparatively, we're good kids.
yeah,
We
we're,
go and
we're
visit
good
the
trouble.
Coburn home, we find a moth, and next thing you know, we're here.
It does.
He looks over at Michael. What do you think of all this?
Hmm.
I guess that's you.
It deals with one of the problems I was trying to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're trying to knock.
The only problem with me is I'm not going to stick my head into these politics. Not
Yeah,
worth it.
I don't
I
blame you.
expected to. I was kind of tossed into this as a hey, by the way, technically there is a seat that is already reserved for the Belmonts, and I could use some help getting back into my realm. So here I am.
Yes. And I was only called upon because of an ancient pact. I still have to help out with this cult to help out with the pact. And depending on that, depends on where I might go.
Well, you're welcome to stay with us as much as you would like. You're extremely useful and beneficial to having around. That's for sure.
You haven't even
Yeah.
seen me at my best.
No, but we have seen how you handle that axe.
The axe isn't even my strongest weapon. My body is. Ever seen thorns come out of a guy's body?
No,
Have not.
at least not in a beneficial way.
I'm what they call a briar pelt. So, as I get hit more and more, thorns come out.
Oh,
Yes. And I get angrier.
I was always a peach person.
needless to say, I am glad I didn't have to attack you. He tried to make me go for you.
That would have been an interesting situation.
Oh, gee.
Could have turned the table there, but we did well for what we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Florence should be here relatively soon, from what I understand. I have no reason to believe he wouldn't have an easy time getting back to his realm.
Victor looks at the Lord of Silverlight. If I would have known you were trying to come in, I would have just dropped that barrier for you.
I can drop it just as quickly as you could.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of rubs his temple, like where the headache was starting to happen.
Oh, yes. Concentration. I forget about that with you folk.
Yeah. It's all good, though.
Being an eldritch mind, I forget that kind of stuff is connected to you.
Mm-hmm. But I thank you.
No problem. So, the funny thing is, two of you are mages. I like mages. I like collecting mages. Maybe sometime in the future you guys can be shepherds.
I certainly wouldn't mind. You're one of the ones I am a little less nervous about even speaking with here. I've had a couple of encounters of people trying to do things like take my name.
Ah, yes. Common amongst the Feywild.
Yeah.
I mean, you have helped us twice, so I'm
Mm.
gonna listen to whatever you have to say.
And you have helped me out, too. That snack helped me regenerate. And you helped recollect all my children.
Seems we work well together.
Yes. And I think you guys would work well with my eldest brother as well. The younger one, however, I don't think you guys would get along with.
That's fair.
Murder, treachery, that kind of stuff is his usual forte. Brawley is more of the smite those who deserve it.
Which is
totally
why
fair.
he works with the Sanctum.
Yes.
What do you know of the Dart Vipers?
Which ones?
Archimedes.
Ah, Archimedes. His powers are based off of gravitational force. He can shift the realm around him to change what is technically the floor of a room.
Mm-hmm.
He can also generate large amounts of force with his body.
Ooh, like a kinetic mancer?
Sort of. He can turn himself into a drill and launch himself. It's very fascinating. He has multitudes of siblings. Another one that I enjoyed hanging out with was his brother Galvani.
The Wellerman.
Hmm?
The one that's connected to the Wellerman, right?
He might be. I don't quite know. I haven't seen Galvani in a very long time. He was living out of Atlantis. Had his own little tower in which he did studies
Staring at
in.
me. Or he's staring past me.
Asimov kind of sits there for a second, like,
He's staring past me.
that's an actual city.
Yes.
There are a lot of myths. There's not a lot of actual facts. Do the Belmonts have anything on the?
Oh gosh.
Just that it did vanish, but
Okay.
yeah.
Even in the Belmont hold, it just says it vanished. It doesn't even give any real.
Cheese. Like shredded cheese.
Well, in the defense, most of the residents of the town, of the civilization, were aquatic by nature, so sinking themselves to the bottom is not that hard.
Got it.
They also
Right.
tend to keep dry domes over certain buildings so that they can hold books and everything else. Galvani was their, how to say it, their tinkerer and inventor lead in the civilization. He enjoyed playing with electricity and magnetism and all that stuff, so I wouldn't put it past him to have helped devise something to have sunk the city down. But it means eventually they may come back up.
Or small.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
I
interested in this.
know their sister. Did you know her?
Agatha. Or
Yes.
are you talking about Nirmala?
I think it's Agatha.
Ah. Agatha's all about the poisons and venoms.
Mm-hmm.
Nirmala is about necrosis. Jules was he heat? Yes. And Boltzmann, fascinating fellow. He's all about ice. Each one of them seeming to hold on to a core elemental aspect. In a lot of ways, they came from a similar plane to us, Golden Fleece. The difference is, because of the nature of that plane being always in flux, they never were able to permanently adjust to things. So when they came into the material plane and other planes of existence, they adapted to those sort of elemental
Now you gotta
energies.
wait. Maybe you could go
It
on the
became a
website.
permanent thing.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to ask him?
No, I'm good.
It's a little too
I
much.
definitely would like to talk to you later about potentially
Like,
becoming a
is it little
shepherd for
too
you.
much?
But
Like,
I have
Same.
he kind of leans his head to the side. He's gesturing to his pocket, but there's no real, gesture directly to his pocket. I have a couple of other deals that might have problems, so I'd rather not step on any toes.
Yes, no, my shepherds have a few things, including the main deal is you help raise some of the golden fleece, but if you die and whatnot, then technically your organs and brain are mine, because, well, you don't need them anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. From what I understand, I have, um, my family would have a problem with that. That's for sure.
Yes, but the Belmonts tend to have problems with just about everything.
My other thing is, I'll talk to you privately about it at some point.
Yes.
It's a sandwich.
But-
Is there any way that we can reach out to you?
He kind of thinks for a moment, kind of rubs his chin, before he slowly reaches into one of his sleeves and pulls out a polished horn that has silver fittings on it. If you blow into this, I should be able to hear it and try to make contact with you.
Gingerbread cell.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Be careful with that. It's
They also
fairly
do have
rare. I don't hand those out to everyone.
A pack of 4 for like
It's
25
like if I make
bucks.
It's like if I make one for a wand or whatnot.
One
It's
thing
very
is 13 bucks.
unique.
No drop. I would.
Yeah, no plan on causing any problems with that. Appreciate it. Oh, goodness. We wait for Florence to arrive. What do we do with this one in the meantime? And I assume there's more that needs to be taken care of, aside from our conversations here.
You guys could probably throw him in the dungeon and everything.
As long as you don't think he can actually get out.
With cold iron manacles, it kind of dampens their power.
Yeah, I just well, I don't. I mean, we did body him. I do still feel that he might be able to do something if he wakes back up, and particularly don't want him to get away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll go ahead and put him in the dungeon, and I also, as just in general, I want to look around and make sure everything's taken care of and get people to stop fighting, basically.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. But we should probably call it there, and because I know multiple of us are getting real tired.
Yeah, I just had a moment of a yawn. I'm actually okay.
Well, I figure this would be a good place to call it until next
Yeah,
time.
definitely is. I just want to talk.
Dude,
I know I do.
Yeah, I just need to plan some more.
Yeah. We have a couple of things. The Earth Cult, like, what else do we have? We have, like, the loose ends that are still needing to be wrapped up before we end the season, so to speak. The seats to be filled, a Lord to be selected, or champion to be selected, and
Yep.
taking out the Earth Cult.
Yep.
yeah.
Before they cause problems.
Dude,
I don't think
that
we have a lot of information on what they're currently doing, but I just know that they're off balancing shit.
Because I can
Oh, and I haven't had my fortune
my
read.
Yep.
The only person who hasn't.
But I am going to raid someone.
I like that I went on this whole
But
journey to find.
goodness, man. That was just a reckless blitz.
Yeah, it was, and it was so well done.
Yeah.
We kind of rolled up and just beat the shit out of him.
Like, if I wasn't in the room already, I was gonna put the barrier across the hall. But since we all just kind of charged into the room, I'm like, yeah, barrier to the door.
You're like, block the door so we don't get pincered. Good stuff.
Well, we're going to raid the Prophet because they're playing a campaign right now as well.
That works.
You guys have a good night. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and don't get in any trouble. If you do, give us a call.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Later, guys.